Actually, moderator Stephen, you've got access to the show sheet. Can you update the normal show plan and say, see the Saturday and Sunday tabs? In fact, let me put them as the second and third. In fact, I'll make them the first and second tabs. There you go, I've just reordered the tabs. Right, assemble your train by coupling onto the carts of water racks on Fort Motor Company siding 12 and Fort Motor siding 11. Following these movements, proceed to Metuchen Yard 1 and stop at south end of that track and wait for instructions to dispatcher. Do not exceed 20 miles per hour or lower as marked on yard and secondary tracks prior to entering the main line of Metuchen. You will need to tend some of your own switches. Right. What NEC is this? The NEC. The Philadelphia one. Sea Lion, thank you very much for the resub, 21 months. Thank you very much for your support. Okay, where are we and what are we doing? Oh, you're based in America, are you, Sinks? Never guessed that from all the British stuff that you make. Do you make any American scenarios, Sinks? Am I just missing them all? Because I have to say, I've been enjoying your British stuff. Right, I need to go back into 12, so let's run forward. So those of you who are looking at the show, can you see what? Can you see where the show is now on the show plan spreadsheet? It's the first two tabs now: Saturday 2018 July stream and Sunday 2018 July charity stream. Or both days are fully planned out. Shout if you're still not sure what we're doing. So it's this one. It's on the list to do at some point, BMJ. In the meantime, you can just copy the folder yourself. Store it on like a OneDrive or a Dropbox, and then just it will auto share between them anyway. Oh no, it doesn't, because the app keeps crashing for some reason. I'm not sure why. Here we go. Should update in a moment. There you go. It's updated. Right, where are we going now? We've got to go to siding 11, which is these ones over here. Got plenty of head movement, I do. I don't really drive the Prius much anymore, BMJ. I drive my Astra. Mobile donation, thank you very much for the mobile donation, and once again, GG Streamlabs. Yeah, I've got Cameron playing your Linking London scenario syncs. I did want to play a couple more, but I just ran out of time. You're the only person I've seen doing class 313 scenarios as well. I think the last one we played of yours on Wednesday, I think it was cracking. That was from Moggy's mum. Well, thank you very much, Moggy's mum. Yeah, up and away, yeah. There was two of them, wasn't there? I think it was up and away was one, and... Oh, cat. She even knows that she's not supposed to be doing it. You can tell from the way she slinks up onto the desk. Whoa! Something big just came in. Come on, Just Giving, tell me all about it. Someone just dropped a bomb. Sea Lion, you are an absolute star. Wow. That pushes us over the 1,000 mark to 1,020 in one hit. Wow. Thank you very much indeed, Sea Lion. Wait for these to come back and come down here. Well done. GG's for Sea Lion. GG's for everybody, actually. We're over the 1,000. We are 3.5 hours in. We've got our first 1,000. Well done, everybody. I think it's fairly clear who pushed us over the 1,000 anyway. There'll be no debate about that. Just realising I'm stopping here. Your phone is an old-fashioned phone with a keypad only. So you T9'd it. Is that what you're saying, Moggy? Sinks, is there a giveaway after every scenario? No, there won't be a giveaway after every scenario. I need to make sure we've got a fair spread of prizes today and tomorrow. Probably be after every other scenario, maybe. But we'll probably do one at the end of this scenario, just because, hey, I like to do a giveaway when we meet awesome goals, and you can't beat 1,000 quid for being an awesome goal, except maybe meeting 2,000 quid. Speaking of, oh dear. Right, stop at Matution Yard 1, good. You had to go to the options to find pound sign. Well, I wouldn't go to get too adventurous, BMJ. The number of donations will obviously slow down, because the beginnings of the stream is always where you get more of a load of donations, because that's when people are sort of coming in for the first time. And once people have donated, they generally don't donate again because they've donated. So you get more at the beginning, is all I'm saying. So that's why I don't want to be sort of. I need to see where we're at with donations and sort of make a call on it, so that it's a sensible target. Otherwise, it's tempting to say, yeah, 2.5 grand should be the target, but I'm actually thinking, I'm hoping we'll get about 3,000 out of this stream for the charity in total. Is this you? But no, it's a -9, Moggy. I think at this point, Sinks, that's most likely to happen in TSW. Unless somebody else does it. I think Dave Mabbott did, Rob. I think he dropped a note to Squirrel and to Steve. And I think he mentioned it to Truckers FM directly. They were going to be plugging the show a couple of times. I won't be right there with you, Sinks. I mean, that would be incredible, wouldn't it? I think 450 miles of route would be interesting. Thank you very much for the mobile donation. I think Sprinter said that one was from you, wasn't it? Thank you very much indeed, Sprinter. Don't forget, folks, no donation is too small. Nothing is too small. It all goes to help a good cause, and even a small amount of money will help. So don't ever feel that you can't donate enough. It's all good. Every little helps indeed. I can't really talk about the future of TSW BMJ. Suffice to say, I have a very long list of things I want to do with TSW, and a finite amount of time to do them. Well, you say even a penny, McBone, but literally a bit gets added onto the bit pile, and will get counted into the final transfer I do. So. Well, the main thing stopping that is a lack of scepter license sinks. Dash 9 was indeed an original Loco and MSTS, yeah. Well, you see, that list keeps growing, BMJ, so I'm going to go with never. Not just from talking to you guys, but I play the game and I'm like, I wonder if he should do this. Oh, I wanted to do this next. And at some point everyone gets really grumpy with me and says, shut up. True, but Dovetail won't make a route if they can't license stock to put on the route. It's good to see the NEC busy as it is. I am going to run another NEC scenario, I don't know if it's later on or tomorrow, which is, it's a scepter replacement. It's effectively, it's a scepter service run with Amtrak trains. That one runs up to fairly high level. So I'm looking forward to that, because I don't think I've ever run a scenario going into high level. Right, we've got to stop at Matushin Yard 1. Set everything in BR days or earlier, yep, absolutely. Oh, it's Metuchen, is it? Okay. BMJ, it is code, or the game itself is coded in C++. Oops. Oh yeah, we'll stop better if there's no power on. Then wait for dispatcher clearance to get onto the main. Northbound NGT is on track 1 and due in Metuchen at 9:14. It is on time when you're released to proceed south on track 2 as of 9:14 or thereafter. Your locomotives are not equipped with in-cab signals, so you're restricted to 60 on mainline trackage. Be attentive to line side signal indications, and note you will need to ask permission for the signal entering the line of Metuchen. I'd be the head of the queue with that wanting to shoot him if he said that, to be honest, Sims. Hey, it's Dimitri, how are you doing? Workshop's down. Typical things. Good, we got the green. It's former Dan Hernandez. Yeah, I know, Sinks. Not used to the brakes on that one. It's really good though. Need some more good 150 scenarios actually. That'd be cracking because I really enjoy driving that. Yeah, the brakes on those trains are hard work, aren't they? Things. You've got 2 more, Whitemead. Interesting. TSO and PS4 running the aggregate scenario. Every time you stop near the set of points near the refueling stop, the train refuses to go again. So are you using the direct brake, the loco brake, to stop the train? Because a common mistake, and I've made it, if I say common, everyone makes a mistake, is you leave the loco brakes in hold or apply when you change ends, if you're changing ends. Which then means you can't release the brakes in the other cab. Have you got a video of you doing it? Because if so, I'll have a look and I'll let you know. I can guess, but without, if I see it, then I can tell you. When are we doing Yan scenario? Have a look on the schedule sheet for 072. Oh, it's later on. It's about 3 o'clock-ish. Where are we going in this scenario? We are going to Trenton South Slow Line. On one of your VODs. Yeah, if you can have a look, Dex, go and have a look at your VODs and send me a link and a time index to go and have a look at, and I will have a quick look and see if I can work out what might be happening there. If you drop me that in an, if you got my email address, Dex, if you just drop me it in an email or a Discord message, actually, would be better. Yeah, send me a Discord message. So when you're coming out of the depot, Dex, what you need to do is first check the map. Because the depot is all manual junctions, what you have to do is switch to the map, check all of the junctions are set correctly, and then you can follow it out. But so the junctions aren't done automatically, you have to do them all yourself in the yard. New Brunswick. Good up to 60. Thank you very much for the donation. We've gone up to so about, what was that, 20, 25 quid? Thank you very much indeed. The crossovers north of Jersey Avenue be routed onto track 4. Reduce your speed to 30. Good on green again. Thank you very much for that donation. Making our way ever closer to 1500. Blessed. I think the train spotting is today. Yeah, I know what you mean, Dex, about it not being mentioned. I mean, initially it used to be that when you first clicked through, if you just went next, 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 eventually through the menus, it took you to the first service mode, which was a depot service. So the very first thing anyone did was started pitch dark in a depot, going the wrong way because they didn't know they needed to change the points. So they changed it so that it defaults to during the day. Is there a reason why they left that heavy haul on the PS4 version, Highway Pipe? Yeah, it was the first route that was made, so it's just not really in the right place for going onto consoles. Needs a lot of work. With all those speed limits in there, I thought that was going to say it was a 10-mile-an-hour limit. Shout out for El Paris to contact Moggy re your prize, please. Does CSX need nearly a full rebuild for it to go to console? I don't know. It needs a fair bit of work. I don't know exactly what that work is yet. You haven't got a pause, but are you running on a laptop or something, Sinks? Or a mini keyboard? Desktop with a wireless keyboard, yeah. Yeah, a bit like this one then that I use on my streaming PC. This one hasn't got a pause button either, I don't think. No, it doesn't. I seem to recall there are utilities out there that will let you remap keys so that when you press one key, it presses a different key in Windows, and you ought to be able to use something like that to say that when you press the page up key, it presses pause or something like that. Does it not have a pause key so the cat can't use it? Yeah, that'd be useful. The Trunkles, midnight here in New Zealand, must get some kip. Cheers, Trunkles. Oh, you have to run it again then, Dex, and just see if it'll record it. Maybe just do a record. Oh no, if you could just grab it on the PS itself and just share the clip with me, couldn't you? Next time you run it. Although I need it all the way back to the beginning so I can see what you've done up to that point, because it's something previous that's caused it to do that. Yeah, Trunkles, we need you to just message Stephen Jam, please, about your prize. Is there a button in TSW you can freeze the picture and get good screenshots? No. No, not yet. It's something I'd like to add. Is he one of my? Cameron's my son. Thanks. Starting to really warm up. I'm starting to get a bit sweaty in here now. The temperature's coming back up again. Greens, excellent, eh? Windy.com reckons we're at around 21 degrees with a reasonable breeze. Haven't they done like a new variant livery of this, which is like black nose, and then it then crosses over being mostly white? BMJ the AC isn't even in here now anymore. I put it into the living room for the rest of the family to use. Yeah, I'm sure I remembered seeing something like that. It still doesn't beat my favourite livery for an American train, even though it doesn't actually end up being in America. It's an Australian loco. Can't remember which one it was now. There is a catenary crew working alongside track 4 just north of Princeton. As you approach this location, reduce your speed to 35 and sound warning. No, I can't remember what one that is. That what's my favourite US train livery? I like lots of them, to be honest. I don't know if I've got a favourite. I mean, I find like the Great Northern Blue I find a bit plain, but the Great Northern Orange and Green is really quite nice, especially on the old F7s. I like Norfolk Southern because it's relatively straightforward. It's got enough detail on it though that it's not just plain black, which is nice. CSX I got quite attached to doing it in TSW. Union Pacific I like the Armour Yellow, but I've seen too much of it now. BNSF, we won't go there. What other liveries are there? Some of the Pennsylvania ones are quite nice, like the maroon one with the gold stripes. Yeah, some of the Amtrak ones are good, yeah. But you know, something like that is quite nice. Oh, the Santa Fe liveries are nice. Yes, I like all of the war bonnet type ones. The Kodachrome, the blue one, and the yellow one, the yellow silver, the blue and something. The red and silver one's probably the best one of the bunch, though. The classic. Santa Bay. Oh dear. Right, double green. What is My Shining Star? Says Speedbird. So My Shining Star are a charity which helps out with families who are where their children, one or more children, have got cancer, essentially. Because what happens is when someone in the family, one of the children gets cancer, the parents, one or both the parents end up having to leave their job so that they can spend much more time caring for them. And in addition to the additional costs that come with the illness, there's also, and the stress that comes with it, obviously, there's then there's lots of other stuff that they have to deal with, including reduced income. So what they do is they help out. They've got grants available. They've got a lot of advice and help they can offer. and you know, they put people in touch to try and help out. So it's about helping families who are suffering right now. So where Cancer Research UK is long game. That's how do we solve the problem. You've got other charities which are like Make a Wish or something, which are how do we, you know, create a really great memorable experience that is maybe a last major sort of thing that they're going to experience. But what My Shining Star tend to focus on is how can we make every day a little bit better, and how can we make it more manageable, which I think is really good. They're a small charity at the moment, but they're growing and they operate nationally, but they're actually based just down the road from here. Yeah, if you go onto their website, myshiningstaruk.co.uk, then they've actually got some stories on there of some of the kids and families that they've helped and sorts of things they've done for them. So, for example, one child was, I think, they were terminal in hospital, and in order to be at home, they needed special equipment. So they bought all that equipment so that they could bring the child home, and then the child could spend its last, you know, while they were still alive, spend it at home with family easily, which just made a tremendous difference. It's small things, but they're important. Yes, windy is good, isn't it? I've only just located it myself, P-Bask. Yeah, the bot will pick that stuff up as well. How do you donate more than £3, Speedbird? You can, if you mean for a mobile donation, you can put any number in there you like. Princeton, 3 miles north of Princeton. It said we've got a restriction, haven't we? So my favourite livery, I guess, from in terms of the story though, is the SPSF livery. I just think the SPSF livery story is hilariously funny. Thelonious, you can donate. If you go into Just Giving, you can select any currency and it will auto convert for you. If you select GBP pounds, it will let you donate via PayPal, but you can still enter an amount and it'll take it in dollars essentially. It'll just do the currency conversion for you. Still got greens. Rob says, exactly like Tanya's Courage, Trust in Cornwall, great cause. TCT deals with teenagers, though, at the age of no longer being eligible for the children's ward. Yes. Red and yellow might not be the best combination, but it's how they. It's the fact that they did it, and before the merger was done. So they painted a whole ton of locos in the new livery, and then and then the livery never actually happened. So you end up with a whole load of locos that are SP and a whole load that SASF, and none of them ever. So much forethought went into setting this livery up so they could paint the Southern Pacific ones, paint the Santa Fe ones, and then later on paint in the missing letters, and it would all work. I mean, the amount of thought there, that's clever, that's thinking ahead. But they did it too soon, and when the merger was disallowed, you have a bunch of locos that just got a livery that really was not relevant anymore. Speedbird, have you heard of the Southern Pacific Santa Fe merger fiasco? Just Giving thing that died again. It's there, okay. I thought it was north of Princeton, never mind. Oh no, we are north of Princeton, we're in the south, aren't we? What happened with SP and Santa Fe? So you know how it's Burlington Northern and Santa Fe that ultimately ended up merging. Well, originally Southern Pacific and Santa Fe wanted to merge, and they got really far down the whole process of merging. And what happened is they got to the point where they're going to merge, and they ended up painting some of their locos. So Southern Pacific painted them in this livery and put the SP on the front. And then if I can find this one, yeah, at the other side of it, Santa Fe put SF on their ones, and the whole idea was that the other bit of the logo would have the bit that was missing, so SP and SF, and it would work out beautifully. So you can see there's just a huge amount of thought gone into that, and that's actually, you know, it's really cool. And then of course the merger was disallowed, so these locos have kind of got this livery that doesn't really apply anymore. Oh, fantastic. Not quite so fantastic. Dragging the station with me. Thank you very much for the donation. But yes, the SPSF story just, it tickles me. It's kind of like a kicking someone when they're down type story, but still. But in terms of favourite liveries, you can't beat this kind of thing, can you? Just, that's an incredible, iconic scene. Yeah, I know the see on my thing that pulls them down, I get nothing showing up, whereas the Streamlabs one gets the GUID or something. Jim Spriggs, thank you very much for the sub, very much appreciated. We're going to hold you out of Trenton due to congestion at Morrisville Junction. Anticipate stopping your train at Trenton South Slow Line. Well, you guys might be able to manage that, the whitelist link stuff, Rob, if you guys want to try and mess about with that. If you look at the manual for a Streamlabs chatbot, you might be able to set all that up. Sinks, I've added you onto the regular list, so you should be able to post links now. Yeah, well, on Moobot they are all, but I've just started switching over to MPT onto the Streamlabs chatbot, and it isn't fully set up yet. Oh, is it still not working? It's set to auto permit regular users. Oh. If I save the changes, it might help. Try it now, Sinks. I'd press the thing, click the button, and not click the save button. So. No, Stephen Jam, I've just added Sinks to the regulars. That's why it's showing up. Hey, Glenn. This is quite an old model, it has to be said. About 6 years old now, this one. Yeah, don't think there's anything in the whitelist, but I know that it can have the whitelist. What have I done? I might have put something in the whitelist. Yeah, I tried to put. Can someone who is not on the regular list try posting a link to a Dovetail Games website and see if that works? Because Dovetail Games, star.dovetailgames.com is in the list. Guess that doesn't work. Oh no, it needs to be something.dovetailgames.com, like a live.dovetailgames.com. Peter Manser, thank you very much indeed for the donation. That pushes us to 1082. No, okay, so the links aren't working. Oh, I don't know quite. I only just put the one in there, but I haven't had time to sit and play about with it. So if the mods can start messing about with the whitelist feature. You don't think the mods can do the whitelist? Oh, well that'd be rubbish. Guess that doesn't stop that being true. What do we got here? 4.4 to Trenton. All those sounds are coming from your computer syncs. Yeah, just wait until you're driving a scenario with AWS, and I'm driving one with AWS, and then no one, you haven't got a clue whether it's yours or not. What are we at now? 1082. So we're not far off 1100. We are not far off 1100. That's incredible. That's really good going, folks. That's what, just over 4 hours in. I think I just passed an approach signal. Oh, I'll start slowing down. Should start paying attention to what I'm doing. Oh yeah, that was Tom House, wasn't it? Sings. Chris, did I post on Facebook with the charity stream? I did, and Twitter. What's my favourite UK livery? I don't know. I don't know. I like all the variations GBRF put on the 66s. .9 miles for Trenton South slow. Rob, rounding it up to 1100. Big GG's for Rob Howell. Thank you very much, Rob. What's all the padding for in the stream schedule? It allows for giveaways, waffle, running late, personal needs breaks. When I used to do the thing without the padding, then basically you'd schedule a load of stuff, and it assumed that every scenario took exactly the right amount of time, and it pushed you through, and you didn't have any gaps at all between the scenarios, or including load times. And of course, we were always running behind all the time. Yeah, it allows. It's a bit of padding in the timetable, a bit like on a real world railway timetable. Why are these lights flashing like this? You're an engineer, Glenn. Which railroad, if you don't mind me asking? Flashing yellow, that's what, advance approach? Oh, short line in Texas called TXPF. Nice. Is that a privately owned short line, or is that one of the ones that's got like a Genesee, Wyoming type short line? Because I know we looked into short lines and found that most of them are owned by about 3 different companies like Genesee and Wyoming. But there are definitely a few independents still about. Group Mexico, okay. Joshua 0910, are you in the stream? If you did, I tried to get one of your schedules, the 319 scenario put into the schedule, but it required reskins, unfortunately, so you had to go. They own Ferromex, right? Okay, I know who they are. What do we got? Approach. You sent the non-reskin version. Is that the one you put in the suggestions form? Because it still looked like it was banging the drum for a class 387 of some sort. Yeah, I can take another look and look at putting it in next time around. Well, not next time around, sorry. And during what I generally do is I do the charity stream, and then the following few streams I'll just play other scenarios that were recommended and get them played, just so that we don't miss anything really. Because I got tons of scenarios that were recommended that I've still not got to. Usually takes a week or two to get through all of them. Yes, that's correct, Sinks. We're here for a time, so take a break. Alright then. Alright, I'll have a look in a bit, blessed. Right, that's all.